Pigment codes explained. Pigment codes can help you to identify the same color across brands, determine if a color is single or multi-pigment, and you can sometimes use it to reverse engineer how to mix it yourself. So let's get started. The Color Index International is a database that was founded over 100 years ago. It's used across many industries including textiles, plastics, and artist paints. Some generic student-grade paints or craft paints don't include this information. The first letter represents whether it's a pigment, dye, or solvent dye. When it comes to artist paints, it's always going to be a P for pigment. The hue family or color family are the remaining letters after the P. That represents the various color families the pigments are grouped into. Here are all the different categories. The black and the brown have two letters to distinguish them from blue. So black is BK and brown is BR. The index number is a number that's assigned to the pigment within the color family. There's no relationship between the number and the quality of the paint. It's assigned sequentially like a catalog number. So this is PV19, and that's the quinacridone crimson. In this case, phthalo green blue shade and burnt sienna have the number 7, but they're in different families, so the numbers don't really overlap. Burnt sienna is part of the brown, and the phthalo green is part of the green family. The color group is easy to figure out by the initial, but for the numbers, you generally have to look that up online. The Color Index International requires a subscription to search the database, but you can do a simple Google search in order to find the pigment codes yourself. There are also free online databases. For artists, the information you find online for free is good enough. So here's an example. I would just type in PW6 and type in the word pigment. So pretty much all the results say it's titanium white. And we can edit this so that it's PG7, and that's phthalo green. So it's very simple to figure out which pigments are within a color. So I figure we'll just go through a couple examples in different paint brands. These are Liquitex Basics. This is the primary blue, and that doesn't really tell us too much about the pigment that's in this paint. So there's the pigment code, PB15:3. So if I type that in there, PB15:3, that tells us that it's phthalo blue green shade. You might have noticed the colon, and that just represents that it's a different variant. So phthalo blue green shade has the :3, and then phthalo blue red shade has :0. So there it is, PB15:0, and that would be phthalo blue red shade. Most brands will list the pigment code, but there are some that don't. So now here's the CraftSmart acrylic paints, and this is one of those that doesn't list the code anywhere. There's instructions on here and some other information, but there's no pigment code. Another example of craft paints does have the pigment code, and this is phthalo blue. It has the common name on here, and then it has the pigment code. So we can tell this is the blue shade and not the red shade of phthalo blue, just because it has the :3 on the pigment code. And it doesn't say that here, it just says phthalo blue. So we did get a little bit more information just from the pigment code that's not listed on the label. Here's dioxazine purple from the Golden Open line of acrylics. And it has a pigment code of PV23. So that's pigment, it's from the violet color family, and the color index is 23. So if you ever use Carbazole Violet, it has the exact same pigment code, PV23. So that's handy because that tells you that it's the same thing as dioxazine purple. We'll do another example of a student grade acrylic. These are the Winsor Newton Galleria line of acrylics. So here's the burnt sienna. Let's see a pigment code on the front, but on the back it lists 3 different pigments for this color: PR101, PY42, PBK11. And what's interesting is that burnt sienna is usually just one pigment code, PBR7. So this is like a hue version of burnt sienna, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because burnt sienna is usually the cheapest series of colors. So let's look up what that is. So PR101, we know that's a red because of the R. Synthetic red iron oxide, PY42. Yellow iron oxide. I think the final color would be black, PBK11, which is Mars black. So instead of being a single pigment color, this is a multi-pigment color made from red iron oxide, yellow iron oxide, and Mars black. Finding the same color across brands. Even though there's many colors that are standard across different brands of paint, there are a number of exceptions, and that can make it confusing. So for example, we have Van Dyke Red from Liquitex, and I like this because when you mix it with phthalo blue, it turns black. but I couldn't find Van Dyke Red in any other brand or medium. So I looked at the pigment code on the back, and that reveals that it's PBR 25. So I searched for the same pigment code within the golden line of acrylics, and I found this benzimidazoline burnt orange, and it has the exact same pigment code, PBR 25. In a previous video about how to tame phthalo blue, I used this to paint a still life of a tea kettle, and it consisted mostly of neutral colors that I mixed from these pigments. Another example is Winsor Blue from Winsor Newton. If you look on the back, it says PB15:0, and we know from the other examples that this is phthalo blue red shade. And I already mentioned this example of dioxazine purple being the same as carbazole violet, which is PV23. How to reverse engineer paint colors. So in a previous video about how to mix different types of green, I mixed light green permanent by looking up the pigment codes and then mixing it from these colors. You still have to determine the ratio, but it does eliminate all the other possible colors that you could use to mix this. So it's mostly phthalo green, white, and I forget what PY74 is. I could look that up. So that would be Hansa yellow or Winsor yellow. This is another example where a pigment can have different names. It can be called Hansa yellow, Winsor yellow, or Acrylic yellow. If you'd like to see me mix light green permanent, there's a link to the video in the description below. In a previous video, I also reverse engineered alizarin crimson, and I mixed it 3 different ways. I first started by mixing the pigments that they list on the label here, and that's quinacridone magenta, nickel azo yellow, and phthalo green. So the neat thing about that is you don't have to buy these colors, you can mix them from single pigments. Limitations and exceptions. So here's an example. You have burnt sienna, raw umber, and burnt umber, and they all have the same pigment code, PBR7. Even though these have the same exact pigment code and the same pigment in there, they look different because they're processed differently. I don't have raw sienna, but it has the same pigment code, so that would be 4 different colors that have the exact same pigment code, even though they look different. Another issue is that even though 2 paints can have the exact same pigment code, the color can look slightly different between brands. This is a fact of life since these paints are made from elements that are sourced from different parts of the world. So there's going to be some variation. In this case, I compared 3 different ultramarine blues. They look pretty similar, but this one from Winsor Newton looks slightly different. I don't know if it shows up in the video that much, but I would say the Liquitex and the golden look pretty similar. And this looks maybe a little bit less saturated. Finally, there are some colors that are proprietary and they don't list the pigment codes on the label at all. This is the cadmium-free orange from Liquitex, and I can't find the pigment code on here. These are pretty neat because these are different than hue colors. It actually behaves like actual cadmium orange. It has the same opacity and vibrancy. They also have cadmium-free red and cadmium-free yellow. So those are some cases where you won't find the pigment code on there either. Hopefully that will help you to understand pigment codes better. Up next, you can watch my playlist about color theory. I also have a free course about acrylic painting supplies for beginners. I cover the different types of acrylic paints, palettes, brushes, and easels. There's a link to it in the description below. Thanks for watching.